The A's now expect Murray to forego that $4.66 million baseball contract and enter the NFL draft. So, Bo, are you starting to come around on the idea that this could be a good idea for this guy?
No, why would I come around? What about football being wildly dangerous has changed since the last time we talked about this? Man, Russillo, I saw he said something on Twitter about playing football, and he's like, well, career-ending injuries don't happen that much anymore. That's actually kind of the problem. It's not career-ending injuries, just injuries that can make you miserable and invalid for long stretches of your life. I think he should take that safe baseball money, but he wants to be a quarterback, it seems. And if this is what's going to make him happy, I can't tell him to follow good sense rather than his heart, I guess.
Well, that's the problem, because as his hypothetical parent, I am with you. Do not play football. None of my hypothetical children will play football.
The money from football is shorter, and it's not guaranteed. The baseball money looks better because it's guaranteed. You talked about a pile of money.
Well,
football money's not guaranteed except the bonus at the beginning.
Quarterbacks, big-name quarterbacks.
Guaranteed.
Well, Kirk Cousins just got all of it guaranteed.
He's been in the
I'm
NFL
just saying,
for a while.
if you're a big-time quarterback, there's more money in the shorter
Initially.
term. Yeah, now the longer career is
Do
baseball.
you take the 12, let's say it's $14 million. Do you take the 14 from football, realize that it may be the only 14 you get?
You know why
or
I
do you bet on baseball and your own skills where the money could be longer, bigger, and more guaranteed?
He's just got to decide which sport he wants to play, because I think we've seen enough now to say he's going to be either a first or second round pick, or at least that's the projection right now in the NFL. And if that's the case, which sport do you like better? I mean, if you go to baseball, you're going to start your career in high A Stockton, and then there's no guarantee you ever make it to the majors.
That's the best point,
If you
Ramona.
go to the if you go to the NFL, you go right to the
Immediately to a
NFL,
roster,
and you're
right.
probably handed the keys.
Frank,
to
I know you brought up Scott Boras
quarterback.
being his agent in baseball, but that might factor into it the most microscopic way. He's going to make his own decision, right? You're not going to let the agent decide where your future is going to be, where your career is going to be, are you, Frank?
Well, clearly, and that's what's happening right now. But I do think when you hire a guy like Scott Boras, you know that he's going to get you a gigantic contract down the road. Ramona's right about, when you're drafted in the first round in baseball, you start out at a low level. There's no guarantee that you're going to move up.
I don't believe that I am qualified to answer this question. I am not the person to ask this, and not just because I thought David Carr was the greatest college quarterback I've ever seen. I'm having more difficulty measuring the value of prospects at this position than I've ever had because of the changing rules. Because Baker Mayfield goes somehow from walking on in college to the #1 overall pick, and they seem to have hit on it. I don't know that I could do this. I do know that this guy feels a little bit like a smaller Patrick Mahomes with less arm strength. I'm not sure that's a positive.
I do think Kyler Murray appreciates and lusts after the idea of being QB1. He knows that where he's going to go is Benoit, Wisconsin, where he's going to make less than minimum wage, and then he's going to go to Stockton, California, and Midland, Texas, and he's going to do that for 4 to 5 years. Meanwhile, he just watched his pal Baker Mayfield strike a path, right? Be the guy who wins the Heisman at OU, then go be the Rookie of the Year.
There are these rumors all of a sudden that even the Cardinals would consider drafting him #1 overall. And it's kind of interesting that Cliff Kingsbury is going to be their next coach, and he has said in the past he would draft that dude, Kyler Murray, #1 overall. That in itself, and here I am avoiding the question just like Dan is, that in itself is crazy fascinating to me, because not only did this organization show a lack of patience with their head coach firing him after 1 year, but if they go ahead and draft Kyler Murray and trade Josh Rosen, then you're looking at the picture of impatience in an organization, and you're handing Kingsbury all the keys right there, because you're giving him the quarterback that he wants. And I'm with Dan. He looked a little small against Alabama. Didn't look like he could just navigate the pocket especially well against NFL-type talent. That would be a risky go for me.
You know what draft pick he's got with Arizona?
He didn't have it.
He's got the number.
He's
got the number. What do they do with Josh Rosen?
He'll have some influence. He ain't making the pick.
Do you think it's possible that Arizona would say to people, give me an offer for Josh Rosen because we're taking this kid?
Maybe. They might say
Now,
that.
the other thing I would say, and I think he's a great quarterback, he's 5'9".
I think there's 2 things he needs to do in the near future. One is have a great workout, whether that's at the Combine or OU, doesn't matter, which he will do because he can play the game. And 2, the other one I don't know, I think he needs to measure 5'10". That will help him a lot to ease some of these concerns about how short he is. And I have a hard time believing Baker Mayfield could just have had the rookie year he did. And that Murray, who had the same passing stats at OU, won the same trophy, is a light years better runner. He can't play the game because he's maybe an inch and a half shorter. The good news for Murray, the NFL is moving his direction to becoming more like the college game. And the bad news, I think, is that baseball really doesn't fit him. The Oakland A's, they're not looking for a speed outfielder. They stole 35 bases as a team.
My favorite part of this is you saying how your kids aren't going to play football as though the coach wouldn't make that decision for them.
How dare you? My kids will be very full of testosterone and very muscular. They just don't want to engage in the brutality.
Where are they going to get it from? I've met you and your wife.